Oh, hey.
Hey, hey.
You know what? No intro, no nothing. Intro music. 3, 2, 1, go.
Buddha, Buddha, Baba, Buddha, Buddha, Baba, Buddha, 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 bam.
So for anybody thinking I muted that, I think that's on your end whenever you get far away from the mic. So
It gets better and better every time.
It really does. Now, there were rumors, though, there was a fight this past week between you and the crew. Are those unsubstantiated rumors, or is that for real?
I don't think those are real rumors. So I don't even know if that classifies as a rumor. Where did you hear this at?
I can't reveal my sources.
You can never reveal your source. I don't know why I keep asking that.
Right.
Okay.
So you're saying everything is good on your guys' end?
Perfect.
Okay.
We've all been immunized. We've all been immunized.
You didn't go there.
I went there. I sat down and I had a drink of milk.
What? Milk?
Yes. Remember? Milk. Since Mom went.
Oh, yeah, milk. Mom, we don't drink anything harder than milk around here. Thanks. So. All right, so it's week 27, and we're trying to get into the college football pick. Can we just start the playoffs already?
Yeah, please? I know.
Let's get into our top 20.
Let's see what we got.
Top 25. See what we got going on here today. Obviously skipping the SEC, so Ohio State, Nebraska is where you're going to start at.
Okay. I mean, obviously, I'm going to take Ohio State. Like I said, the past 5-6 weeks, Ohio State has been trending up ever since they lost to Oregon. So,
should Ohio State have been ranked higher than 5?
Ohio State?
Yeah.
I think so. Well, no, because they lost to Oregon and everybody else ahead of them. Well, there's always a question of Alabama, but no, I think Ohio State's good. I think Ohio State's good because, and eventually it's all going to play itself out because Ohio State still has to play Michigan and Michigan State. So, and I think Ohio State's going to win both of those games.
We'll cover Alabama when we get to their part, but that's a good answer. Very good political answer right there. I'm picking Ohio State, obviously, as well. I mean, Nebraska, I guess Frost is going to get fired this year or next year. But.
Probably so.
Wake Forest and North Carolina. This is an interesting one because Wake Forest is undefeated, but North Carolina was supposed to be the team. Oh, did you also know that this is not a conference game?
It's not a conference game?
So they scheduled this as an out-of-conference game. So, like, if Wake Forest loses this somehow, they're still undefeated in the ACC.
But they're both in the ACC, so how? I don't understand that.
I don't make the rules. I just read stuff off the thing. So this is.
I'm glad you brought that up because I honestly didn't know that. So but okay.
I found out this week, and I was like, "That's the stupidest rule I've ever heard of." But whatever. I guess because it's their extra game, so they actually schedule this as an out-of-conference game. So it's not fair to them if the only person they could find. I mean, I don't know. Why didn't they just pick an SEC person? It's about whatever. Anyway, I think North Carolina ends up sneaking in this one at home just because.
I'm going to go with Wake Forest simply because I'm not too familiar with either team other than Sam Howell, quarterbacks North Carolina. I'm going to take Wake Forest.
There's like
on the road.
30 people on the field, and I know one of them. So I'm picking.
Right.
I'm picking the other team.
I'll go with Wake Forest, and we'll see what happens. Could be interesting though.
Yes, I'm gonna print you a T-shirt that says "We'll see what happens." That's what I'm getting you for Christmas.
I say that a lot. That's actually not a bad idea.
Yes, that's what I'm getting you. So
okay,
you should have worn that to your wedding. We'll see what happens.
Oh my gosh, that would have been hilarious.
Well, we would have thought so. Your wife, not so much.
Yeah.
So what is this? The Hugh Freeze Bowl, Ole Miss versus Liberty. All stuff aside, Ole Miss should take this one easily.
Yeah, I got Ole Miss winning this, but they're only favored by 9.5. Probably because Liberty's record is 7-2, but I'm gonna go with Ole Miss by. I'm gonna take a stretch. I'm gonna say Ole Miss by 20.
Jeepers, Ross. You're not giving Liberty much of a shot here, huh?
I'm not giving Liberty much of a shot.
Illinois and Minnesota. Minnesota's like 4-1 in the Big Ten. They still have a chance to go to the Big Ten championship game.
They do.
I don't understand how things like this happen, but Minnesota keeps hot and destroys Illinois at home, I think. I
haven't paid much attention to Minnesota this year. They've been flying under the radar, in my opinion.
Nobody in Minnesota has been paying attention either.
I'll take Minnesota in this one as well. I think they'll cover.
I have a friend, though, Mittens. He's from Minnesota, so we'll give him a shout out, and I'll tag him in
you have a friend named Mittens?
All right, so Pittsburgh and Duke is the next game.
Shout out to Mittens.
Oh, he's gonna love this. This is probably the only video he watches all year from us. Pittsburgh and Duke. Do you remember when Duke was the ACC was in the ACC championship game?
That was around the same time we played them. We played them first game 17 or 18. We played them first game of the year. So I think they were good like 1 or 2 years before that. But
and that was it for them.
Ever since then, and I think because that's when they had Daniel Jones. But ever since he left, things have gone downhill.
Yeah. Have things gone downhill for him though since he joined the Giants?
They started off okay and kind of rocky, but this year has been pretty problematic. A lot of injuries on the team, and I don't know. They need some serious help. I wonder if Odell's going to go back to New York. Okay.
I don't know if he could help them enough for this point.
No.
But Pitt takes this one easily. And anytime we start talking about Odell Beckham Jr. in the Pitt Duke segment, you know that we don't care about the game.
We've been straying away for too long. Let's move on to the next game.
Michigan State was a tricky game at Purdue because Purdue likes to upset people, and then Michigan State coming off that win against our favorite outside the SEC team, Michigan.
We love Michigan.
Michigan State cheated last week, by the way. Michigan
They cheated. I saw so many bad calls. I know they paid the refs.
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous, but I think they'll win this week.
Yes, Michigan State won the Hoda Bowl, and I think they're going to win this week too.
Yeah. We're sorry, Hoda. We love you, man.
Sorry, Hoda. We still love you, though, man.
Cincinnati should kill Tulsa. They haven't been lately, so who really knows? They're going to win this game, but sitting at 6 in the college football ranking, the playoff rankings, like they really need to win this game by 50.
Cincinnati's going to win this game by a lot, and I think they're going to finish the season undefeated, but I still don't think they get in. I think by them being seated at 6, that lets the committee know that what they think about them. They said, look, they're good. They're going to finish undefeated, but their strength of schedule is not that strong. Their one good win is on the road against Notre Dame, and Notre Dame's number 10 right now, but it's not going to be good enough to get them in.
Yeah, the Cincinnati getting ranked number 6 was basically the committee saying, "Hey, nice try."
Right, it ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen. So
they're gonna they will take a one-loss. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. They'll take a one-loss SEC team. Well, we'll cover that.
Yeah, over Cincinnati.
We'll cover that. Gotcha. Notre Dame at against Navy. I mean, Notre Dame should win this one easily. And sitting at 10, they still have a lot of work to do. But I mean, I guess the thing is they can never jump Cincinnati with that one loss. So you'd like to think that Notre Dame is eliminated, and they would need a lot of help. So.
Oh yeah.
Okie State at West Virginia. Okie State, only one loss in conference and a lot of good games ahead of them. So this is not one of those games they can overlook. I think they focus and they win this game.
I'm with you there, Oklahoma State. I'm interested to see Oklahoma State play Oklahoma, or did that already occur?
That has not occurred. They lost to.
That is a rivalry game.
They lost to Iowa State, I think.
These Big 12 teams are so hard to determine sometimes.
Yeah.
I think when Oklahoma State plays Oklahoma, I think that's gonna be a big game though. Pretty exciting. But in this one, I'm gonna go with Oklahoma State.
Yep. Then you got Baylor at TCU. Same thing with Baylor having only lost one game. I think Baylor takes it to TCU.
I remember when I first moved here to Fort Worth, Texas. I'm in Arlington now. Baylor TCU was always the big matchup around here, and it's pretty exciting to watch. But lately, it hasn't been. I got Baylor in this one, and
TCU fired their coach, so.
They let their coach go. Yeah, he didn't. Well, didn't he say he didn't want to return? I mean, I guess he felt like if you don't want me here next year, I mean, what's the point of staying? I don't know if that was his mentality or not.
Yeah, well, he wanted to break up with them before they broke up with him. That's all this. So.
Yeah.
All right.
He's been there for like 20 years. So.
Yeah, 22, I think, actually. Longer than you've been alive. So BYU and Idaho. Are you done? Are we good?
We're good.
Try to be professional, like me.
Okay.
So BYU kills Idaho State. I don't even know why this is a game.
I mean,
okay, so Wisconsin.
Idaho State is doing
Wisconsin and Rutgers. Rutgers, I think, stays within the number just because, but Wisconsin still takes this, and they're still trying to get to the Big Ten championship game themselves. So, as bad as they have looked all year, they're not 100% out of it yet.
Yeah.
Did you just yab me?
No.
Is that like an okay?
Cat. That was the cat.
Oh, my bad. NC State and Florida State.
Huh?
NC State and Florida State. I mean,
I'm gonna go with NC State. They actually look pretty decent here. They beat that powerhouse Clemson team. So I'm gonna go with NC State. Florida State's still trending down. I don't think they're ever gonna recover. Well, they will eventually, but not.
I'm going with Florida State at home. They take this one at home. They've been looking better in the past few weeks, so I'm taking them at home.
They actually looked decent against Clemson last week.
Yeah, which is something you have not been able to say about them for a long time.
Right.
Iowa and Northwestern. I mean, like, I'm trying so hard to even care about this game. Boise State, Fresno State. I mean, who's Oregon, Washington? You remember when this game used to be good?
Yeah, I did. Oregon's going to win this game by more than 7, though, in my opinion. I think.
Yeah.
Huh?
Best game of the day, though? Michigan, Indiana.
Hold up! I think Michigan bounces back and has a huge win tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah. They're going to win this game by about 30. Take out their frustrations from being cheated and just ugly screwed over last week. So, go Michigan.
Yes.
And then the nightcap, if you're still up and you can find it. Oh, it's on FS1. So, you might watch San Diego State, Hawaii.
10 o'clock?
I'll have been asleep for the second Alabama game ends and that milk really hits my system, it'll probably put me to sleep. So
yes, that's when I start dozing off. So
yeah, I'll miss San Diego State.
We'll take San Diego State.
Yeah, because nobody's taking Hawaii. Nice place to visit. Don't like the football. All right, SEC time.
Let's do it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh gosh,
Georgia. I mean, okay. Yes, well-deserved number one team in the country. Somehow you let me get Liberty and Ole Miss in on the non-SEC segment. What are you doing?
I didn't want to say anything since you got started with it. I didn't want to be rude like you, so I just said let's let it slide.
Oh, well, thank you. So polite. Yes, Georgia, by the way, the well-deserved number one team in the country, has looked the most solid all year. And with the Braves winning, it's either did you sell your soul to let the Braves win, or is it an Atlanta kind of year?
Yes.
So
that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we're going to give it to one Georgia team this year, and that the Braves already got it. So I am looking to Georgia to improve their offense. Like I said, when it comes to the SEC championship, I think Georgia's defense is there. They showed up all season. I'm not really sure about the offense. They didn't really show up in the first half of Florida last week.
Mm-hmm.
If you look back at their game, their defense did the most of the damage. So that's one thing they need to improve on, and they can start tomorrow.
I agree. Auburn and Texas A&M. This is a huge game in the SEC. So
there's a lot of implications here. Yeah.
Yep. Definitely taking Texas A&M in this one at home. I think if this was at Auburn, I would take Auburn, but I'm gonna take Texas A&M. But
I was gonna say that too. I'm only taking Texas A&M because they're playing at home. But Auburn has been trending up the past few weeks. I could see Auburn winning this game, but I will take Texas A&M.
Yep. Mississippi State and Arkansas. I am old enough to remember when Arkansas was ranked this year.
They were ranked this year. They started off 4-0, had a really, really good start of the season, and they've been trending down the past few weeks.
What is it with you in this trending up and trending down? What's up with this whole trending down thing?
One of the producers. Before we get on these calls, I have cards that are given to me by the producers of terms that they want to use, terms that have been trending up. Trending terms is actually what they call them. So I try to use, and this is one of the terms. It's trending up. So trending up, trending down. Next week, I'll have different terms that are trending. I'm sorry you don't get these type of cards from the producers, but we have a different type of rapport. So maybe you should work on your attitude.
Well, excuse me. I'm going to pick Arkansas because they're at home. How's that for trending? It's trending my finger up. Okay, so Arkansas at home over Mississippi State. Tennessee at Kentucky. I don't know if it's because of how they played against us or just recent, but I'm going to take Tennessee over Kentucky, and I never thought I'd say that.
I'm taking Tennessee too, and it's because of what you just said. They didn't play that bad against us. Their offense looked pretty decent. Not a great defense, but I think they have what it takes to beat Kentucky. And the line is Tennessee by 1, and they're on the road. So we're both taking Tennessee.
Yeah, I think Tennessee has more offense than Kentucky, and I think that's what's going to get them in the end.
Yeah, I think whoever scores more points is going to win the game.
All right, Booger. All right, Florida at South Carolina. I mean, you would think on paper this would be an easy Florida win, but who knows what's going on with Florida?
Yeah, I have no idea, absolutely. But I mean, I have absolutely no idea. You see what I did there? Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Florida too. I think their offense is a little better than South Carolina.
Yeah, well, everything is better than South Carolina, but I think it'll be closer than most people think. And then Alabama should crush LSU. I'm sorry. I would have the more important question. I would have had Alabama like at 6th in this rating. I wouldn't have had them at number 2. Not with a loss.
I mean, yeah, you would have them at 6.
I'd have them below Ohio State, Oregon. Maybe not Oregon, just because of Oregon's loss was probably worse than Alabama's. Right. But I would have had Oklahoma up there. And for everybody who's upset about the wins and losses, I mean, if Alabama beats Auburn and beats Georgia, they're into the playoff. If they lose either one of those games, they're out. And that's the end of the story.
Right.
The only person I think is going to survive this whole thing, Georgia's going to the playoff, even if they lose in the SEC championship game.
Right.
And if Alabama loses to Auburn and beats Georgia, I still have Alabama out.
I don't think any 2-loss team is getting in.
Right.
Which would really, really suck if we lost to Auburn and then beat Georgia somehow. But that would, but
that's
how possibility that could happen.
Yeah, that's how my vote would go too. So they haven't called me yet, but I'm assuming I get a vote this year.
So I have a question with this LSU Alabama game. I mean, we've already talked about this even before the call. We know Alabama is going to crush them. Right. How many passing yards do you think Bryce Young will have? Over or under 350?
Under. But not because we're not slinging it around. I think we'll be so balanced and that we'll hopefully, midway through the third quarter, we're pulling him, is my hope. Yeah. So I'm saying under just because I think he comes out and gets, like 298, 3 touchdown passes, but B-Rob has a good game and we don't lean on him as heavily with the big games that are still coming up. So that's why.
I agree. I agree too. I think there's a chance he could actually have 400 yards if he was to throw that much. But with the way that we play in our style of offense, as balanced as you mentioned, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I agree. So hopefully we're having a good night tomorrow night, and we'll be ready for our football our NFL picks. But Raj, you want to take us out tonight? Raj? Oh, I think we lost Raj. Well, I'm not going to do any outro music, so I'm just going to go. Everybody have a good night. And, wow, this is nerve-wracking. Roll Tide.